paleoanthropologist. I study the human fossil record. And my talk today is called Scars of Evolution. And I'm going to focus on childbirth as one of the scars of our evolutionary past. But I want to talk just quickly first about an idea that Darwin had about human evolution that relates to some of the things that are important in the evolution of human childbirth. So in Origin of Species, Darwin didn't talk about human evolution, but he later wrote a book called The Descent of Man, in which he did talk about human evolution. And Darwin looked around him. There was very little human fossil record at the time, but he looked at the other primates, and he recognized that humans were most similar to the living great apes. And he hypothesized that the great apes that we were closest to were the African great apes, which is chimpanzees and gorillas, in contrast to orangutans. And so Darwin predicted that when human fossils were discovered, the earliest ones would be from Africa. And of course, that did turn out to be true, even though in the very early stages of human fossil discoveries, it seemed like maybe the humans had originated in Asia. But we know today for sure that humans originated in Africa, and we know based on fossil and genetic evidence that chimpanzees and gorillas are indeed, as he said, our closest living relatives. Okay, so Darwin looked at African apes in the London Zoo, and he noticed that there were 4 features that were different about humans from African apes, and they were bipedalism, that humans walk on 2 legs, and the African apes are knuckle walkers, walk on all 4s, that humans use tools, and at that time there was no evidence that any other apes used tools. Humans have large brains. Apes have brains about 1/3 of the size of ours relative to body size. And finally, humans have small canine teeth, the tooth at the corner of the jaw, sometimes called the eye tooth. And Darwin proposed a hypothesis that linked these 4 features. Basically, what he said is that when humans stopped living in trees, when they came down to the ground and walked on 2 legs, their hands were freed from being part of locomotion, and they were able to use their hands to make and use tools. And when they could make and use tools, they no longer needed to have large canine teeth.